Since Project D was formed, they keep continuously challenging racers from other regions, breaking local track records. They collect challenge letters online and post the race results on Project D's website. This time, they are going to face a racing team called 7 Star Leaf. When 7 Star Leaf discovered that Project D's downhill representative is driving AE86, they were shocked, because AE86 is a relatively old, low-power car compared to other modern cars for racing. Takumi's downhill opponent is a guy called Tolu. He even borrowed money from his girlfriend to buy new tires specifically for this race. His girlfriend was upset because he kept spending money on his car without considering their future. So she made a bet. If he lost this race, he'd have to give up racing, otherwise she's going to break up with him. Due to this, Tolu not only got new tires, but also retuned his entire car. He is determined not to lose. Since Project D is an expedition team specializing in challenging on their opponent's home courses, they usually practice the track on the first day and set the official race on the second day. This allows enough time to tune their cars and get familiar with the track. Just before the match, Takumi noticed that the gutters on the track have no covers. If one wheel falls into the gutters at high speed, the underside of car would be completely wrecked. As the starting time of the match approaches, crowds of audience start to show up to watch this match. Tolu drives a 2-door sports car equipped with a B6 engine. The race format is not a side-by-side start, but a pursuit format. 7 Star Leaf decides to attack in the first round, which means Takumi's AE86 would be behind Tolu's car at the starting line. If AE86 is left behind, and the gap between the two cars widened a certain distance when they reach the finish line, then it would be concluded as Project D's loss. Before the match, Takumi and Tolu did a courtesy handshake. From this handshake, Tolu sensed Takumi's driving prowess is extraordinary. He knows this would be a tough battle for him. Tolu chose to go first to avoid having his rhythm disrupted on the downhill and aimed to bring out his best driving performance without interference. Ryusuke analyzed Tolu's ability as a racer. Compared to AE86, Tolu's Roadster is smaller and light-weighted, making its agility a powerful advantage. Tolu's driving style is to utilize inertia drifting through every turn, pushing his entry speed to the limit. This driving style is very similar to Takumi and AE86. Ryusuke also believes that the result of this match is going to be decided in the latter half of the track, specifically the section with uncovered gutters. To win, Takumi would need to master a technique called weight shifting. Before Takumi, Tolu never encountered anyone who can follow him for so long, but he still believes Takumi is struggling just to keep up, and there is no way Takumi can overtake him. However, Tolu's teammates, hearing that Takumi is still closely following Tolu into the latter half of the track, felt an ominous sense of dread. After following Tolu for half of the course, Takumi begins to understand the difference between his and Tolu's driving style. He noticed that, from the exit of one turn to the start of next turn, his AE86 is faster than Tolu's car, and it is not because of the horsepower difference. In fact, on complex mountain roads, especially on downhill sections, there are many sections that aren't clearly turns or straights. Knowing whether to fully accelerate or go half throttle in these situations is the difference between Takumi and Tolu. Since Tolu cannot get rid of Takumi, he grew curious about how Takumi drives. His plan now is to hold out until the second round, where he would chase from behind and observe Takumi's driving skills. At one turn, Takumi noticed that Tolu braked too early, which allows Takumi to find an overtaking line. From the rearview mirror, Tolu sees Takumi attempting to overtake him. He mocks Takumi, "Idiot, don't you know the gutters here have no covers?" Since Tolu is half a car length ahead, he believes that he has the dominant advantage in this turn. But this happened. It turns out that Takumi used the weight shifting technique, transferring the weight from the outer tires to the rear wheels, creating a drastic shift that reduced the load on the inner front wheels. This allows him to fully accelerate and leap over the uncovered gutters, taking the shortest line through the turn. Tolu is astonished and cannot believe what he saw and thinks that he must be dreaming. He wants to see how Takumi overtook him at the next corner. After witnessing Takumi's weight-shifting technique, Tolu figures that if AE86 can do it, so can his Roadster. However, it turns out Tolu doesn't have the skills, and his car's right front wheel fell into the gutter, causing the whole car to flip in the air. Luckily, the car flipped back onto its wheels after one roll, and Tolu was unharmed. But this also means the race ended in Takumi's victory. After the downhill race, the uphill race began, with Keisuke's opponent driving a Nissan Skyline ER34. Unsurprisingly, Keisuke also secured the win. After losing the race, Tolu fulfilled his promise to his girlfriend and gave up racing. His girlfriend, thinking he must have hit his head in the crash, insisted on taking him to see a doctor. Tolu assured her he is fine. He had always believed that on his home turf, no one could beat him, because he has practiced on the track over 1,000 times, and no one can be more familiar with the track than him. But in the end, he was defeated by someone who had only practiced for one night. Despite losing, he felt relieved and had no regrets. There are special people existing. Unfortunately, it just turned out that he is not one of them. Thank you for watching. Do you think Tolu did stand a chance against Takumi? Let me know what you think in the comment.